Now we're going to take a look at the classic Ralph McTell hit, Streets of London, which is an amazing piece of fingerstyle guitar. I was actually quite shocked when I listened to this track, because I remember learning the Streets of London when I was like 7 years old at school, and it was just strummy, very, very simple. And this track features some of that real ragtime, almost Chet Atkins style, folk country picking, whatever you want to call it, where you have the alternating bass, that kind of thing throughout, but there's a little finger-picked melodies throughout the chords. So, for the purpose of the DVD, this has been simplified down. There's even some form of chord melody accompaniment going on the original, and quite fiddly. So what I've chosen to do here is to just strip it down to the bare parts, just the verse and the chorus section, and then it's up to you to take these away and work on an arrangement or play along with the Ralph McTell original. It's entirely up to you. I don't really see the point of making potentially what is quite a simplistic song and a great addition to anyone's repertoire, be it a beginner, intermediate, advanced player. I don't see the point of really overcomplicating it for the sake of a DVD. So, the basic chords and the basic pattern, we're using Pima, which is the traditional fingerstyle, classical fingerstyle technique. P for thumb, how does that work? I, that's the first finger, M is your second finger, and A is your third finger. Little finger is rarely used. I think that's marked E or X if it is used, but I'm pretty much using thumb first and second. I think my third might creep in every so often without me really realising. As regards to the notes of the chord, that's entirely up to you. Add some variations to it. There's plenty of variations when you listen to the original, and that's what I mean about overcomplicating it. Once you've got the pattern down, then feel free to elaborate on it as much or as little as you want. The tempo as well, you can play it at a slow tempo. You don't have to play it at a fast galloping tempo. I'm going to look at a medium tempo just so that, you know, those of you that are unfamiliar with fingerstyle guitar stand a little bit of a chance of playing it. And also, being a rock guitar player, at least I stand a bit of a chance of playing it as well. But anyway, the basic pattern is I'm holding a G chord. So you're getting this pattern. Then the other notes. You can hear how it really fills out. It's quite fiddly to get. Don't worry too much if you hit other strings. All of the notes are going to be within the chord, so it doesn't really make that much difference. The pattern that I'm working on is the bottom E and the B together, then the D string and the G string, then the E, then the B, and then the D. Now that's a good starting point, so. Now, as regards to the right hand, or your picking hand, my thumb's playing the bass notes, my second finger plays the B string, first finger plays the G string, so I just added an extra note. Okay, that's your basic pattern. Like I said, experiment with other combinations of notes based around that chord. So the first bar, G. Then we have a D over F sharp, which I'm just simply fretting a D chord but bringing my thumb over the top there to play the F sharp in the bass. Same pattern. Sounds nice. E minor. Now with the E minor, same kind of thing. Then back to G, C. Now for that pattern now, I play the A string and the B string together. D, G, A, B, D. So then to G, A7th, same string pattern as the C chord. A7th, for those of you unfamiliar with that chord, it's just 2nd fret D and 2nd fret B. And then we have a D chord. Now with the D, I'm changing the pattern slightly, playing the D and the G, sorry, the D and the B together, the G string, top E. I think my 3rd finger just crept in there without me noticing. So one more time. Or you can just do it with 1st and 2nd, so slowly. Okay, so that's the 1st section. Let me play that for you. 3 and 4 and... Okay, a little more to speed. 1, 2, 3, 4. It's a really lovely technique. You can really appreciate the sound of that, you know, 1, 2, 3, 4, bass line going, and then the little chord tones in between. Okay, the next section is G, D over F sharp, E minor, back to G, C, G, D, slightly different pattern there, D and B string together, G and B, D, E, B, but again you can, if you want, entirely up to you how you make this combination of notes. Don't feel, you know, stuck into a specific pattern. Just make sure that that's that constant going throughout on whatever chord you're playing. Then we have the G chord, but this time we play a G sus4 on the last couple of beats. So we're actually playing G and B together, well, the bottom E string, sorry, should I say, and then the D and G, then the bottom E, add the 1st fret of the B string, and then to the the D string, so you get, and then back to G. Okay, so here's the whole verse. 2, 3 and 4 and... Okay, a little more up to our kind of mid-tempo. 1, 2, 3, 4. Great little finger workout. Really get a lot of pleasure and satisfaction out of playing that part. Okay, now we're going to move on to the chorus section, and this also includes like a little post-chorus section that makes reference back to the verse again. Okay, here's the 1st section of the chorus. We have C, then G, G, then a D over F sharp. So we're only playing the F sharp note, the A note on the G string, and the open D, so that's E minor, A7th, 2 bars, D, so 2 bars of A7th, 2 bars of D. So I'll put those 8 bars together. 1, 2, 3, 4. More up to speed. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, now we have our little post-chorus section, which makes more reference to the verse, but just has an extra chord in there, and starts off with G, D over F sharp, E minor. Now we have a B minor 7th. Now for the B minor 7th, simply barring across the 2nd fret from the A string, play the 3rd fret B and the 4th fret of the D. Okay, now we have C, G, D. Nice little variation there that you can add. Play the D and the G string, D and the B string together. Now the G string, open top E, then the D, then add your 2nd finger on the top E, and then play the D string. So the B string. So. And then back to G. Do the little sus4 thing as well. I actually, that time, played the top 2 strings together as opposed to the G and the B string. So you could, this is what I mean about how once you've got the basic pattern under your fingers, it's up to you then to elaborate and make it into your own, your own tune. This has been covered by so many people and there's so many different variations. So here's the chorus nice and slowly for you with that additional section at the end. 2, 3, 4. Okay, I'm just going to play through the verse and the chorus for you. Remember to really work on trying to bring the speed of this up. Get it somewhere where it's comfortable for you, but it really sounds effective. If you try and get it up to that brisk tempo, it's just a lovely sound, and it just makes, even though you're playing several just regular open position chords, I think it makes a really nice little fingerstyle piece to add to your repertoire. So here's the verse, chorus, and our little post-chorus section put together at a moderate tempo, nothing too fast, something that you can hopefully practice along with. Here we go. 2, 3, 4. Okay, hopefully from that brief lesson and demonstration, you should be able to see how to put Streets of London together, from learning the progression and then trying to nail the ragtime, bluegrass, country fingerstyle technique. It's quite a tricky technique, that. Make sure that you start it off slowly, gradually build it up, keeping the alternating bass line going throughout. Really keeps that 1 and 2 and 3, that nice brisk rhythm. Doesn't matter too much about the notes that you play. Listen to the original, you're going to hear tons and tons of variations going on throughout. You're going to be holding the chord anyway, so any other notes that you hit are within the chord, so don't really worry too much. As for arrangement, make sure you check out the original to hear the Ralph McTell arrangement, or simply come up with an arrangement of your own, just based on the parts that we've looked at in this lesson. Anyway, that concludes Streets of London.